Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to episode 40 of the Random Opening Challenge. This time I knew better and I got a much bigger coffee. Okay, this is one of the situations where Wade hits the 3-4, so we can't even do the mini Chinese. Just an update, 14 wins on this count, so we're quite close. The mini Chinese is probably a really good one to get up there because it's one of the openings that I used to like to play quite a bit. Wow, approach. Okay, I'm not even surprised at this point because we've just been through this so many times. The blitzing people. Looks like we're gonna have another blitzing section. Well, it looks like I can try and get through here, but I'm gonna just think for a moment if that's what I really want. Yeah, let's just get out from this side. These groups are quite weak, and I don't really want to keep going under. Whoa, what? I don't understand. This is dead, though. Strange. Okay. My opponent's moves are really direct. Like they're just precisely to the point. Well, they're also playing really quickly, and I didn't really have the mini Chinese. But the key point about this type of opening is that actually you really want your opponent to approach, because after that you have a target to attack. And that makes it really efficient for black to have the first stone advantage. And that's pretty much the gist of the mini Chinese opening, or whenever you see someone play like the Chinese opening or this kind of move relative to the 3-4 stone. I'm pretty sure my opponent will get captured here. At this point, the rest of the game is probably just going to be gibberish. So I sense a fast forward coming. Right now, white can't make an eye over here. There's only one eye for this big group. There's no eye in the middle, so white pretty much just has to make an eye. Another eye on the right side, which is really hard to do. To target that and then extend. The title of the previous episode is "Why You Should Not Play This Fast," and when you play quickly, you tend to make big mistakes, which is pretty much what we're both doing again. But since it's like the blitzing session. Whatever. Oh well, we will satisfy our opponent. We'll satisfy our opponent. It looks like another group is going to get captured here. At this point, it doesn't even matter whether or not moves work because both players, well, I know I'm predicting that my opponent's just going to play immediately, and so I'm not really taking too much thought into this. Basically, just playing the shape moves that I feel like will work. It's actually a really bad idea. So do not do this, because as you saw in the previous episode, my final game, I could have been in a very bad situation, but yeah, I only won because my opponent made a big mistake. And in this whole series of moves, I also made a few mistakes. They weren't major. I think they were, maybe one of them was. There was one point where I felt probably my opponent could have done something, but after the Atari here, White didn't see that to Tsuji. And there we have it. I don't know how you guys feel about these super quick games. They're obviously not much thinking involved, and I feel like since my opponent's not thinking that much, there's like no point for me in like putting my full attention to it. It's kind of my reasoning, my current reasoning right now. Let me know in the comments what you feel about this. I think it is helpful for me to try and get to 5Dan, or for most of these accounts, as soon as possible, because I feel at 5Dan there are a lot more things to talk about, and games are a lot more entertaining. So let me know in the comments how you want me to do that. So at this point, I'll just fast forward, and I will shut up, and I'll see you when we finish this game. Okay, and here we go. That took quite a while, and my opponent wants a rematch. Unfortunately, I have to roll the next opening, so I can't play you. And let's go. Oops, I have to set it, so let's go from 0 to 8. Let's see what we get. We get a 6. I believe that's one of the ones I really like. Double 3-5. Let's go. Welcome back, and we are in the 3-5 count. 15 wins. Getting close, getting close. Oh, we have a Taisha invitation. Oh, here we go. This is probably the best moment of this, is when my opponent actually plays Taisha. Oh no, they chose one of the... Oh. It's a relatively defensive variation, but I think this is still better for black. Wow, I feel like just... I don't want to just enclose. I want to put more pressure on the stone. So I'm going to do this extension right here. Wow, okay. This move absolutely makes no sense because, first of all, white doesn't care about that stone, and then all of a sudden it came back here. So I can just let white live, and then I can just attack the stone. Because I have this wall here, I mean, right now it's basically Ni. If white saves the cornerstone, I can just attack this. And there's actually an empty corner, which means no matter what happens, this game is already really good for black. And now white has to live this in Gote, and I'm not sure whether this will live. We'll see. Okay, so probably maybe I should have done something different, but I'm pretty okay with this. We'll just maybe I'll want to start a ko. Okay, fine. I don't want to give away this though, because this side is also very big. Okay, and before we know it, we're already back to blitzing. Common problem. Huh. I'll just finish this off. This corner is too big, and it's not obvious whether, well, what white can do yet to this side. Connects back. Okay, I'm actually just okay with sacrificing the 5 stones now. This is really good for black. Just an easy sacrifice variation. Okay, well, maybe I'll just spend one more move here. I think this is pretty big. I don't want white to escape, because after white does escape, my cutting points will be revealed. Okay, then we just okay, I need to add one more move here though. My 3 stones aren't complete. Okay, he noticed. And they're going to do something. I think I can just double Hane. I'll just connect then. The 3 stones are big, but right now the outside is too empty, so this is probably not that good for white. I'm just going to exchange these, and then, oh, white played another move in the center. It is quite tricky to handle these situations, because you do have to make judgments of what's big and what's not. And right now, white is probably falling behind move by move, because white's not really caring about the corners and sides. Okay, so white is just okay with sacrificing these. Okay, then I definitely want to keep this. It wouldn't make sense for me to let white just escape this, but because again, I will have weaknesses. But right now, I don't need to defend this part, because it's actually quite hard to capture white's stone with one move. White also has an attachment. Also keep in mind that the Kosumi for this particular corner is not Sente. So after black Kosumis, white can Tanuki, and there isn't too much black can do over there. But at this point, it's just, you know, taking the points. And black just has way more territory. Look at the top right, it's absolutely huge, but white only has 2 much smaller corners. So I can pretty easily win this game without any more aggressive moves. I can just play very safe. And that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, the upper right is just way too efficient. And Just take that. I don't. Actually, I didn't need to do that. I don't know why I did that. Well, we'll just finish the endgame, I guess. There isn't too much endgame, actually, because white also doesn't have too much potential. And in the end, both players aren't going to make too much territory over in the middle anyway, so the middle isn't really worth anything. And, well, if we think back about this game, what happened? So, we have this, it's kind of hard, isn't it, after both of us playing so fast. But try to bear with me. In the upper right, we had this Joseki, but white kind of tanukied too much in the game, kind of at the wrong time, I think. And even though it is important to tanuki in Go in general, it's a bad thing. It's a bad habit to follow your opponent's move too much. But you do have to make sure that locally, your opponent's not going to take advantage of your groups. So that's making the judgment of the follow-up move. If the follow-up move is big, then of course you don't want to let your opponent do it. It takes a lot of judgment. It takes a lot of judgment to know when it is to follow up and when it's not. Especially in these games where at the start there's like a big influence or many fights and many things are happening all at once. It makes it really hard. Oh, I missed this move here. It's a bit of endgame. Sometimes I just tend to focus on like completely irrelevant things. I don't know if you guys ever do that in your games. Like sometimes I think back to myself that, oh, I should have played there. But then it's actually like a half-point difference or like 2-point difference. Of course, it's good to be specific, but a lot of the time it just doesn't really matter. Well, I think we'll pretty much finish the game because there isn't too many endgames, and I'll probably just keep playing, and I won't fast forward this time. Is there even any big endgames? I don't think so. I'll just answer whatever move white plays then. Okay, I think it will take a while. I'm going to actually, second thoughts, I'll fast forward this. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, sorry. Sorry. I thought I was recording, but then I accidentally turned the record off. Well, it turns out I'm not going to fast forward, but it was pretty much just small endgame anyway, so you guys don't want to watch that. So we'll just count right now. Right now is... Okay, I don't actually see the bottom right now, so maybe we'll just wait for the opponent to count. It's like just my interface issue. When I maximize the screen, it goes over a little bit, so I don't actually see the bottom. What is my opponent doing? I'm just waiting for them to start the counting. Okay, maybe I will... Okay, there we go. Oh, am I counting? Here we go. Okay, that was 30 and 3/4 stone. So it's Chinese rules. That was like 60 points. Wow. Anyway, let's go back and roll the next opening. We have a 4. Is it back to Min-Chinese? It is. We're back. Min-Chinese again. We did get white this time, but I said we would play as normal because, well, if you theoretically, wow, this is so cool actually. This is so nice. So my opponent did just play the Min-Chinese against me. And we're going to play the same thing, except the smaller one. This is going to be interesting. It's the mirror opening, except I picked the smaller one. See how this goes. Oh wow, black invaded directly. That's a pretty uncommon move, I think. Huh. Well, I'm tempted to just split the side or do something here. Maybe I'll just expand my own. I'll just expand on my own. Since black can't capture the stone anyway, it's pretty common for white to tanuki that, because also the lower right corner is also very urgent. So if black spins a move here, white will then go to the lower right. Okay. I really feel like approaching right now. Oh yeah, that was a pretty big move, but it feels a little different compared to like the regular mini Chinese opening strategy, because black is not really expanding the moyo afterwards. So right now black is just leaving this for white to invade. So right here I play like a pretty common sabaki move here for this local situation. What black doesn't even care about this stone. I can just ladder this. But what I can also do is I can double hane and capture. I think I'll just ladder this. This feels way too good to not do. So we'll do that first. Okay. So black is actually a pretty big territory player. Interesting. Well, we'll just play normally here. It's pretty advantageous for white to do this because this creates a group for black to worry about, which means it's going to be really hard for black to invade this top left. And that's my plan there. So of course we can't let black connect back. So we need to play this. This also puts some pressure in at the corner invasion. So I can clamp here. If black exchanges this, there's also corner invasions later. Okay. We just continue with this group. And so as long as black has to worry about this, wow. Okay. Black decided to wedge and sacrifice the stone. Well, I guess it's okay. But I'm really happy with this because I just get the territory and black only gains the stone here. Black continued here. I guess I'll extend. I don't think there's a burning reason why I should capture. Oh, I didn't realize black can push down. I thought I could cut because I had the ladder, but I didn't realize black can actually net my stone. That was awkward. Well, actually, their wedge worked very well. Still, I still have to continue my strat of getting this lower left. And right now, black is definitely overplaying. Because right now, whenever I connect this back, This whole black group is also very weak. Okay, I'll just let black get this. It's going to be really difficult for black at this point right now. Two weak groups. Black has to deal with this very bad one, and also have a very solid left side already. And even if black deals with this well in Gote, which I think is like the maximum black can get from that, then white will be able to connect this stone back and attack this whole group. By the way, I didn't exchange the tiger's mouth because that's actually Gote. After the tiger's mouth, white has a weakness here, so don't be quick to play moves like that because it's they're actually not very good moves. It will actually help the opponent. So I had already thought about that. Black probably would cap. That was my kind of first instinct. So I already thought about that. The peep here, white can connect. And I'm pretty sure black won't be able to do anything too severe to the middle. And also white has sente moves like around this area. Wow. It's good. These are all pretty good moves. Okay, I'll just Kosumi then. And then this weakness is also a problem for black. My opponent is playing quite well in this fight so far. Because right now, white cannot cut here. Black will Atari through, and white would only gain at most these stones. And black would, of course, get the bigger side as well as protect the weak group. And I am not very happy with that, so I don't want to do that. But the good thing is white can connect in sente at any point. So after the peeping here, black will have to capture because then white can come back in sente. So black does capture that. And now white does have to attack this group. Yeah, my opponent is playing very well. Oh, I can push here. Yeah, I think that's actually a good move. Why did I peep here? I should have cut. Yeah, I could have cut later, so I definitely shouldn't have peeped. That was a really bad move, actually. That helped black protect the weakness with no immediate gain. And it's kind of like the move that I was talking about with the tiger's mouth. That was a really bad exchange by white. Okay, so I'm going to connect this back now. And then we're going to fight this group. So this group is, the black group on the left is still not alive. But also black now has a new weak group. And that's going to be, it should be hard for black to deal with both now. It's very aggressive. Yeah, I think I played a little too aggressive here. I didn't realize black can just simply enclose like that. I was kind of seeing black enclosing from the left side, which is probably not going to work. But now, this seems like it's going to be an interesting liberty race. So I'm gonna have to cut here, and black will probably Atari and then connect in the middle here. And after that, it's going to be a little race. My first instinct is probably Seki. Just because of how many shared liberties there are. Yeah, I think it's most likely going to be Seki. Black's move right here is a self-liberty reduction move. Well, at this rate, you know, in a situation like this, we're going to inevitably have this liberty race. So every liberty counts. As long as a black cannot simply escape, then the more liberties I reduce, it can be a game changer for this semi-I here. So black is probably going to exchange this move. It's pretty comfortable exchange. There are a couple of ways I can do this. Let me just maybe I should just count the liberties instead of like guessing and making you guys guess with me. Okay, so how many? It's probably going to be a Seki still. Unfortunately, I can't capture it. Yeah, it's pretty much just Seki, which is really annoying. Which is kind of bad news for me. I'm trying to get this into a variation in which I can cut on the outside. So I can get this move in Sente, M8. This is really important. And then okay, I think I can jump and then get this in Sente. And then I can cut the stone in the middle. Oh wait, I think I'm, oh no. Okay, I officially messed up. So, it's not Sente. I should have Kasumi here. Wow. Completely messed up there. Okay. Well, inside it's already Seki. Yeah. It's Seki no matter what. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, it should be fine. It should be fine, yeah. Maybe my opponent is confused because my move here, it looks like it's Sente. Oh wow, this is a pretty strong player. Not gonna lie, even with this fight, I really didn't gain too much of an advantage. And now Black is also trying to do a ladder breaker, so Black is playing very well. And also Black noticed this that it's Seki already, without even having to play move. I'm really curious. Wow, with this win and loss record, that's crazy. That's just this. The player here is, I think, if I met someone as strong as this in person, I would probably think they're 5 dan at least on Fox, like at least 2 stones stronger than the 2 previous players that we had. But wow, this is yeah, this is I bet the game is actually quite close. If not, Black is like doing okay. So this is really interesting. Am I about to get smacked by a 3 dan? That would be very interesting. I would be really interested to have that day. I actually had one time when I pretty much met an AI that was 3Dan. That was pretty interesting. So I met an AI that was 3Dan. So when I played the person or the AI, I didn't know. And then at the time, they also had a pretty strong win rate. I think I was trying to. I don't remember exactly, but I think I was. It might be one of the accounts that I was trying to. But anyway, it was a 3Dan account, and I had a bunch of straight wins, and that account also had a bunch of straight wins. And then I just got completely destroyed. But I think that was obviously an AI because just of the way they played. Wow, I think I probably... Did I lose out on this fight? Oh man. Well, if black has to spend another move, black probably will Tanuki now. But if I get this move in the center, I think they're getting a little too confident. Because the Seki over here, black has to make sure it's Seki. So the outside group is still a weak group because it's a Seki. And now, since the middle is completely iron, it's going to be hard for black. I'm going to just take away the eye on the top. It's actually it's actually the whole reason, actually, I played the move in the upper left corner, even though it doesn't look like it's Sente. Because it's big endgame, it's a big points, and also it will put a lot of pressure on this group. And the normal move for black was to fix the middle, but right now, since black didn't do that, they're going to have a lot of trouble. Oh, wow. So black decided not to care about that group. So black is sacrificing that whole group, which is a smart thing to do, but it's still a little surprising. Yeah, it's... Black definitely need to connect there, though. This pretty much is going to be the losing move. Without connecting, the whole group is still in danger, and even if the whole group lives, white can just extend his back. So at this point, black is owing moves everywhere, and it's pretty much game over. What is this? It's funny how we all do this. Sometimes we just run stones without looking at the ladder. I've definitely done that before. So now, white already has... White can capture this group whenever by connecting back under. And also black's group in the middle is quite weak. Oh, okay. I probably shouldn't have captured it that way. Well, let me just connect this back because I feel like this move is too big. It makes everything inside here points. So that would make white, that would give white a big point lead. And then I can actually just Atari in the middle to connect the group back. So that makes the two stones not super big. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my opponent is just playing with a friend's account. Definitely not the 3Dan here. I can tell by their moves that they are indeed quite strong. Seeing a lot of variations. Right now, black can't just let white capture. This is too big. It's even bigger than capturing this group. This is a bad result for black. And also, well, this is actually sente for white now. That's even better. Yeah, it looks like the center, it's a trade. But if you kind of think a little bit back, black was attacking this group already. But at the end of the trade, white not only captured this and connected these back, but also captured the whole thing on the top. So it's a really good trade for white. And now now black probably just made a simple reading mistake here. And this is going to be game over. So yeah, my opponent is definitely decently strong. They play quite good moves, and I know from their reading and that they're quite good. So either they're a 3-dan that's trying really hard and they actually have really high potential, or they're probably just using a friend's account. Oh, okay, and that's the game. So that was a fun game there. We almost got we got challenged hard there by the 3-dan, and actually commented here saying good. So I wonder what kind of player they are. Anyway, let's roll the next opening. Let's do one more. And 7. I'm actually dying to get the 6 God Redemption again. Okay, oh, high I, and we have a 5-dan game. I'm always kind of nervous when I'm playing on 5-dan account, but also it's one of the openings that's quite hard to use against high-level players. So we'll see how this goes. This is it's the debut of the high I account on 5-dan. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we have this. Now, should I do okay, I kind of have to, don't I? Normally I would probably just do the attachment, but since we're still 5-dan, if we get to 7, we'll probably just attach. But right now, we'll still play this, and because this has quite a lot of variations, and I feel like if I don't explore some of the more popular moves here, I haven't actually played the account very well. And so let me just play this a little bit more, and then once we get to 7, we'll stop playing these less good moves. Interesting. So we already got into a fight. It's going to be quite complicated. It's going to be very complicated. Well, it's going to be interesting. I didn't want to push through here because black might just sacrifice, and I really didn't want to let black get away too easily, which is why I connected. I was going to say, which is why white connected. Yeah, it looks like so black can cut, but it's going to be another weak group. So it's going to be just a bunch of messiness in the middle. But we'll see what happens. It's already going quite slow, and I can tell my opponent is already thinking very hard. So it's true. The only difference between 3 and 5 dans are how much time they spent. Wow, this is getting pretty complicated. If I push on top, I'm going to have to play this to settle the group on on the lower side. And then I'm going to get this Hane. This is quite a comfortable exchange. So I'm going to do that, and then I can actually Hane and double Hane. There's nothing preventing me from doing that. It's pretty bad for black not to get this exchange, actually. You'll see in a minute why. You should always get this exchange in this particular shape. If black extends, or tiger's mouth, white can actually extend out. But if this was already exchanged, black can Atari and Kosumi. But it actually doesn't work unless this is already exchanged. So white can just extend out right now. That makes quite a big difference. And at this point, black is going to lose out on the fight already. If black extends here, white can extend in Sente. And also if white plays the tiger's mouth, the corner is already not livable. And black obviously can't sacrifice this group on the right. And yeah, this is going to be hard for black. This Atari is pretty much going to capture the whole thing. But if black Atari is here, I think white can play the tiger's mouth. What black is just not going to care about this group, I can get one more push in. Because black can't let white Hane this. I can get one more push in, and then I can just do a tiger's mouth. Everything is dead in the corner. So that was an interesting one. I'm pretty sure white's not supposed to get such a good result. At least black could have, instead of doing this Atari, black could have just simply Hane didn't connect, and made the corner alive first, and then fight on the outside. But right now, pretty much everything is dead in the corner. And in the center, it's not obvious black can gain anything at all. It's a pretty much everyone's running together situation. Everyone has weak groups. So this is going to be really hard for black to continue after such a huge loss in the corner here. Okay. I think I want to extend this. Oh, black and Hane here. Okay, that was a bad move. That was a very bad move. I should have Atari'd and extended. If I were to do it again, I would probably do that. Yeah, black and Hane. Okay. If black Hane'd here, it would be bad for white because white would have to push through in order to get out, and that would hurt the left back. But this is actually quite comfortable for white. This was the variation that I saw, but I didn't realize it's a little too optimistic. So this is what I wanted. I wanted to get the Hane and jump out. But actually, even like this, it's not so good for white. White should have just Atari'd and extended, or Atari and net and do this squeeze thing. Yeah, even like this, it's not very good for white in terms of the middle. Oh, black didn't extend here. That was really important. Yeah, okay, now it's good for white. Black could have extended. That was really important. White's not going to push this way, so white's going to have to connect or do something there. But this is just game over. Black didn't gain anything at all, and the corner is dead. And also, both of these are pretty much weak groups. And white is comfortable on both sides as well as the middle. So this is this is pretty much game over. Wow, this was just one fight in the corner. It's quite interesting. I definitely didn't expect this. But this is going to be it. Maybe my opponent doesn't realize that the corner is dead. I don't think that's possible. They must realize. Or they think there's the Suji to live. That's possible. Okay, so now we have another group to attack, and black doesn't have any big. It's really important when you play like this that you don't give your opponent huge moyos, because then your lead is going to be a lot harder to translate your lead into a win. But with something like this, there's no moyos, so there's actually pretty much nowhere. There's no room for me to make any mistakes. And this type of game is a lot easier to handle. So I just settle each group and then just win with more territory. I think I mentioned this in the last episode as well. It's one of the nice games to win. Oh, they used a Byoyomi, but then they played at like 5 seconds, I think, or 2 seconds. That was a bad use of a Byoyomi. Yeah, and that's exactly the reason why black should have Atari'd that instead of extended into the 2-2. Black should have made that exchange early, because now black would never get that exchange. Of course, if white connects, black is going to consume and capture the whole thing, but that's obviously not going to happen. And just barely, my opponent barely played at the last second there, at 1. And this is going to be it, pretty much. Wow. I'm surprised black didn't like play a move on the upper side, because this lower side is worth nothing. And also black has these cutting points. This is going to be a problem later on. I'm not going to do this now because there's no point. I don't need to do anything here. I just need to make sure my groups are good. Wow, okay. Well, it is a good fighting spirit, to be fair. Yeah, it is a good fighting spirit. But without a stone on the upper side, you can't really invade here. I don't know what black's going to do. Wedge? I'll just connect, and I'll just let black live or something. But now I can extend, actually. It's going to be a disaster for black. Black has to Hane and connect to ensure liberty extensions, but white can actually just connect in the middle. And, well, I'm not trying to kill. I don't need to kill, because now this Atari and extend is going to be really immediate. And black probably lost as much on the outside as what black gained. Also, black has to play the attachment and then this extension in order to live, or maybe play here first and then Hane, and that's going to destroy the lower side as well. Black can't Kosumi because white can just play here in Sente, and that's dead. So this is this is actually quite hard to live. It's quite hard to make alive. What? Is this not a ladder? Even if the ladder doesn't work, if I just Atari and Tiger's Mouth, Black is gonna have to live, and I can just like net this however I want as well. Okay, now I'm probably gonna sound really mean and stuff, but it's kind of like my inside playing self coming out. When I play, you know, I think it's important to be confident about your moves, especially when you're ahead. If you kind of doubt your opponent's moves, it actually helps a lot with the strategy. So actually, this group is dead. Actually, I can descend to kill it. It's probably the best way to kill it. Okay. Okay. So first game, we successfully tricked the 5-dan in this using the large knight move, a very, very common trick move with the high eye. Well, in the second corner, I didn't, but that's because my opponent was behind and they had to fight really hard in order to come back. I think this is going to be a pretty long episode. But I feel like I shouldn't fast forward at this point because we're kind of in the middle of still pretty early game. Okay. Black is trying to play a ladder breaker, but I feel like this upper side is big enough for me to continue here, so I'm just going to continue here. It doesn't really matter that Black can save this, just because of how many stones Black would have to sacrifice in order to save it. And also I can just capture. So at this point I can just capture whatever I want. I don't even know what to do now. Maybe it's just Tiger's Mouth. Okay, I feel like netting is the simplest way. Because in order to kill it, we're going to have a much more complicated fight, and then Black is going to have to take advantage of the outside. But with this, it's really clear. Black has to live, actually by cutting first, and then living. Yeah, okay. Or do that. But locally it's ko, but I'm not going to start it because I don't need to. And then, you know, it's just simple. Attack both groups and make sure our groups are safe while doing so. I'm going to go to the bottom now very soon. I'm going to double Hane and take full advantage of the fact of my really strong group. Actually, both of my connections are Sente for sure, because they're going to threaten to take away Black's eye on the right. You can see, like, after Black invaded, this was a really bad result. Not only I hurt the corner, made White super strong in the outside, and it's also really, really incredibly small. It's only 4 points, 4.5 points. Okay, now Black is just probably finding a place to resign. Well, because, you know, at this point there's nothing to do. I mean, these are dead now, so. Okay, there we go. I was completely running out of things to say. Okay, so I think this was an interesting game. In the beginning, that fight has got to be the decider. And later on, it was just black trying to play aggressive and seeking chances, which is the correct strategy. But it was relatively easy for white to defend just because of how big the lead was in the beginning. So the really important point that the mistake was actually really early, and it was this extension here that black played really quickly. Black should have Atari'd first before connecting. And we did see later on why that was the case. And it's because when black came back to Atari, white didn't have to connect. So some exchanges you can't actually get later on if you don't do it early. And that timing is very interesting. Okay, now let's roll the opening for the next episode. I really want a 0. Come on, please give me a 0. Oh, okay, no 0, but that is Kobayashi, so that's 5 down account. So in the next video, we'll start with the Kobayashi opening. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, leave your questions in the comments, and I will catch you in the next video.